The left wants to overthrow nature itself. There's a line that Kennedy used to quote, John F. Kennedy. He would say, this is supposed to be a great inspiration, he'd say, "Some people see things that are and say, why? I dream things that never were and say, why not?" And he acknowledged he got this line from George Bernard Shaw. What he didn't know is that the line from Shaw comes from this play cycle back to Methuselah, and the line actually comes from the mouth of the serpent tempting Eve in the Garden of Eden. The line that Shaw is giving here, that Kennedy is quoting, and a lot of Democrats have quoted since then, is the language of the devil. We need total delusion. We need to embrace delusion. Well, that is what the left is doing in human nature, not just among consenting adults, but even among children, in a really disturbing case out of Texas. There's a 10-year-old boy in Texas. He just spoke before the Texas State Senate. He spoke to them regarding Bill 1646. This is a bill that acknowledges that it is child abuse to chemically castrate children and give them trans-sex hormones and mutilate their bodies to make little boys look more like little girls. So this little boy testifies before the committee. I hesitated even to play this clip, but it's really out there. It's obviously very, very public already. I'm gonna blur the kid's face, and I'm not gonna refer to the kid's name because his mother is obviously abusing him. Listen to his testimony to see how far the country's gotten.
Hello, my name is... I love ballet, math, science, and geology. I spend my free time with my cats, chickens, FaceTiming my friends, and dreaming of when I will finally meet Dolly Parton. I do not like spending my free time asking adults to make good choices. I've been having to explain myself since I was 3 or 4 years old. Texas legislators have been attacking me since pre-K. I am in 4th grade now. When it comes to bills that target trans youth, I immediately feel angry. It's been very scary and overwhelming. It makes me sad that some politicians use trans kids like me to get votes from people who hate me just because I exist. God made me. God loves me for who I am, and God does not make mistakes. My mom has been giving everything she has to stand up for me.
Wow, there it is. You can listen to the rest of this if you want to. I suspect you don't. But you hear that line, "My mom has been so wonderful," and there it is. If you didn't already know from the first part of this that this poor little boy is being horrifically abused by his mother, you get it there. I don't believe that the boy came up with these lines on his own. Of course he didn't. And this rehearsed sort of caricature of what a woman is that he is performing, I don't think this was an invention of his own. I think this was put into his head, obviously. The idea that he's been trying to convince adults of reality since he was 3 years old is obviously not true. 3-year-olds don't convince anybody of anything because 3-year-olds don't know anything because they're very little. Does that still count as a toddler? I don't know. I'm not really familiar with all the various designations. You're a very, very little kid when you're 3 years old. And this kid's pervert mother decided that she wanted to have a little daughter instead of a little son. And so she dressed him up like a little daughter, and now she has him trotted out protesting a law that would prevent him from being mutilated and castrated. That woman should be in prison. She should not be permitted around children, ever. A just society would acknowledge that and codify that into law. But we no longer have the ability to do that because on the left, you've got them actively pushing for this stuff to trans the kids and castrate little boys. And on the right, the best that we can muster is, well, not until he's 18. Well, look, I might not agree with it, but, look, it's freedom. That's basically the best. I'm not talking about you people who listen to this show. I'm not talking about our friends here who obviously have a more sophisticated view of this. But I'm talking about the Republican leadership. broadly speaking, they don't want to get into it. They just want to let the left run roughshod over the culture, even if it means mutilating little boys. Freedom. We would have a freer country if that kid's mother were in prison and people like her. We would have a freer country if we recognized limits to vice and licentiousness and evil acts like castrating little kids. If we took the freedom, if we took the ability of these people to do these sorts of things away from them, we would have a freer country. Because liberty, of course, requires limitations, and licentiousness and liberty are not synonyms. But we're not allowed to acknowledge limits anymore. Wait. Nope, do not yet. You can't go until you smash that subscribe button, you hit that like button. You got to do it, okay? Or for other channels, it's totally cool. YouTube, they love those channels. They promote them all the time. For us, maybe they don't like exactly what we're saying. So head on over, make sure you subscribe, and never miss a video.